Hey everybody, how are you? So, Tuesday on Tipping Point, we're going to do this promo thing. And I don't think a lot of people have sort of signed up to do it yet or committed to do it. And I just wanted to sort of clear up what it was going to be. Perhaps people are intimidated because they think I'm going to judge them. Perhaps people just simply don't know about it. So I thought I would put out this video, sort of give an example of what I was thinking. That way, people can start thinking about what they want to do this weekend, and then just let Larry know you want to do it. It's nothing very complicated. In essence, it's this. I kind of wanted to take a look at sort of the promos that inspired the people in wrestling, specifically Georgia wrestling. What you'll do is you'll just pick a promo. Then you'll find it. I'm sure it's easy to find between the WWE network and YouTube and all the rest of that stuff. And you'll just come on the air and tell us the story on why you love the promo that you're doing. And then you'll just read the promo. You don't have to perform it. There's a great example that I'm going to do for you. It's a Ric Flair promo. Am I going to do Ric Flair? No, because I'm going to show you that you can simply read the thing off and it's all good, right? So, which promo am I going to do? And I hope I don't take one that somebody else was going to do, but I figured Ric Flair was a safe choice because you have a million great Ric Flair promos that you could do. And it doesn't have to be your absolute favorite, right? When I ask my kids, what's your favorite? I don't ask my kids what's their favorite anything because then you get into sort of a push and pull thing of like, I don't know, sometimes I like this, sometimes I like that. So I'll just say one of your favorite promos or a promo that inspired you or a promo from which you can tell a story. So I'll tell this story. It's Ric Flair's celebratory Royal Rumble 92 promo. And why I like it is this is it's Flair's obvious stab at the NWA slash WCW. It's Flair's sort of being acknowledged in some way, shape, or form as the greatest ever because they let him win the WWF title. And they did it in this sort of grand, unbelievable way of surviving throughout the entire Royal Rumble and then winning. And if you look at the people who are involved in that Royal Rumble 92 match, I don't think, and people will always want to dress it up, and people tend to favor the modern in everything, but there's no doubt that the sort of roll call for Royal Rumble 92 is the best one they've ever had, and they'll never be able to touch it just because of the nature of how wrestling is now. So, here's the Ric Flair promo, right? I could read everybody's parts, I guess. And you know what? Just to have it in context, I'm going to go ahead and do that. So let's get into it. So, why does it mean so much to me personally? I love Ric Flair. Ric Flair's my favorite. I sort of unabashedly love Ric Flair. And him coming to the WWF was very exciting for me. I hated the WWF, but I watched it because it was pro wrestling. I watched all wrestling. But if you're my age or older and you watched wrestling at the time, you picked a favorite. That's why this thing where people are like, why can't people just enjoy all wrestling? Da, 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 da. That's ridiculous. In my day, you picked a favorite. You were either you either loved sort of NWA Jim Crockett stuff or you loved WWF stuff. You didn't love them both. It didn't mean you couldn't watch everything you wanted. I watched everything. I was in Hawaii. So we had All Japan, New Japan, WWF, of course, NWA, AWA. They showed everything they showed on Superstars of Wrestling. Mid South slash UWF. We got Florida wrestling. We got it all in Hawaii just because of the weird juxtaposition of where Hawaii was and the fact that Polynesian wrestling was part of the NWA at the time. So we got everything. And but I was a Jim Crockett promotion guy. No doubt about it. So the WWF was always seen as the cartoony, crappy one. We watched it. We knew about it. In fact, WrestleMania 3 was the first pay-per-view that we ever got in the house, right? It was a big deal. We had to go get this this box to put on our cable box. in order that we could get the signal. WrestleMania 2, my father got us tickets so we could go watch it closed circuit at the Neil Blaisdell Concert Hall where they had the orchestras play. But we went down there and watched it. And WrestleMania, I kind of had to go out of my way to find and watch. So I watched WWF, but I didn't. I thought of them as the cartoony, crappy wrestling. And whenever wrestling magazines had the inevitable thing of who's bigger, Ric Flair or Hulk Hogan, we always scoured it looking for evidence that Ric Flair should win that. And I still believe it to this day, right? It's just one of those things that gets burned into your DNA if you're a wrestling fan of a certain age. And I am a certain age. And so Ric Flair winning that Royal Rumble, you listen to the call, right? You listen to Bobby Heenan in particular on the microphone announcing or commentating on that match, and you could tell that Bobby Heenan was into it. He was never better. And it was just one of those nights where just everything lined up. Hulk Hogan didn't win, which was a big deal. My friends and I were thrilled about that, but Ric Flair did win. And I remember feeling exhausted like you do at the end of like an epic movie or finishing a book or finishing anything where you feel completely content. And this was one of those rare moments where the good guy, in my mind, won and got to celebrate. Okerlund. All right, by virtue of winning the Royal Rumble, we have a brand new World Wrestling Federation champion. As the press look on at this time to present the title belt to the new champion, our president, the distinguished Jack Tunney. Congratulations, Ric Flair, on becoming the undisputed champion of the World Wrestling Federation. Let me just say, after carrying the belt that proclaimed me the real world champion, I'm going to tell you all with a tear in my eye, this is the greatest moment of my life. When you walk around in this life and you tell everyone you're number one, the only way you get to stay number one is to be number one. Perfect laughs. And this is the only title in the wrestling world that makes you number one. When you are the king of the WWF, you rule the world. Think about it like that, Mr. Perfect, the brain. Woo! Heenan. This is Heenan. Let's give a big one. Woo! You did it. I love the spontaneous moment that they had. If you watch the video, it's amazing because he's trying to get everyone to do it and he and Perfect kind of do it. It's not perfect. It really feels like a real locker room celebration. Anyway, sorry. Woo! You did it. I was never so impressed with anything I saw in all my life. He went out there for over 60 minutes, never took a back step. Took it to Hogan, took it to The Undertaker, took it to whoever got in that ring. That's why he is, and you can call him now, the real World Heavyweight Champion. This is Mr. Perfect. Hey, Bobby, we're not the kind of guys to say we told you so, but we told you so. Perfect, making sure it's still a heel promo. Smart. Okerlund. Okay, very good. Ric Flair, you have made the world... Put that cigarette out. And again, one of those great moments. Okerlund yelling at that guy to put the cigarette out. You've made World Wrestling Federation history here tonight. This is the greatest moment in my life. I want to jump. I want to party. But I got to tell you like this. For the Hulk Hogans and the Macho Mans and the Pipers and the Sids, now it's Ric Flair. And you all pay homage to the man. Woo! I love it. I love it. I love it. See, guys, there's nothing to be scared of. Contact Larry, contact Georgia Wrestling History. Pick your promo. You can find transcripts, chances are, of all your favorite promos. Or you can take the time to research and do a more obscure promo. Get that transcript in front of you and just read it on the air and tell us a little story of why you love it or what it means to you personally. No big deal. See you guys on Tuesday.